What's up, gangsters? It's Mike with the guns. My name is Mike, and here I am with a gun. I know I've talked about my IWI Uzi Pro in the past before. I wanted to do a video today though because I didn't talk about any of the accessories that I had for it. I think I might have mentioned them briefly, but I didn't actually show any of them on camera, and that's really what's most important and most helpful for people when they can see the accessories that they might be looking at online actually in use or how they're installed, or even accessories that you might not have known about if you're thinking about getting an Uzi or if you have one. It's just good to see what's out there, honestly. So there's also some small news that I came across about the change in model that I'll mention briefly. I bought this one a few years ago. This is the IWI Uzi Pro, as I said before, made by Israeli Weapons Industries. They've made this one for a few years. Don't hold me to the date that I'm about to give you, but I think they might have started it around 2015. So it hasn't been in production for that long. It looks similar to some of the classic Uzi models, but it's not all metal, this gun. It does have a polymer frame on the bottom section. So there is quite a bit of polymer on here. This bottom Picatinny rail is also polymer right here. And that's non-removable also. So a lot of people don't like that because that changes the look of the gun a little bit to have that Picatinny rail down there. And there's no way to remove that. That's just polymer, which because it's polymer and sticking out, it could get scratched also. But when you see some of the accessories that are out there, you might find a use for the bottom rail. But when I was looking for some optics for this thing the other day, I went on the IWI website and I realized that it said, this Uzi Pro is actually discontinued. And I was pretty alarmed at first because I thought I was gonna have an even more difficult time finding parts or accessories for this thing than I already have. And then I'm scrolling through the website and I noticed a little more information. It's just this model that's discontinued. From what I remember, this was the only model you can buy when I bought this. This is a non-threaded barrel, 4.5-inch barrel, but it's non-threaded. You cannot add a suppressor or a silencer or anything, same thing, but you cannot add anything like that to this. Or what would have been even more useful to me, you cannot add a muzzle brake to this because it's not threaded. So the model that's currently available is the same thing with a threaded barrel. So I went ahead, I called IWI, I spoke to somebody on the phone just to get a little bit more information and to actually ask if I could get my hands on a threaded barrel, if there's any way that I could purchase one just to swap it out and be up to date as far as the current models that they're offering. He said that there's no differences between this gun and the one that they're currently making over there besides the threaded barrel. And he also added that they are planning on importing additional threaded barrels from Israel. I think they're limited on their quantities right now from what he mentioned. So they're planning on importing extra threaded barrels from Israel. And if all goes well from what he said, they should end up on the website for sale. The same ones that they are putting in the guns nowadays. So I will be checking the website. I will be looking to see if I can get one of those threaded barrels because I want one. For not only to have the current production model as close as possible, but also because the added features that you could have for it, adding some sort of muzzle brake, which would be best for me. So now I'll get into some of the accessories that I have for this thing. When I bought it, it's supposed to come, if you look at any of the ads out there, I haven't looked at them recently, but it used to say that it comes with one 20-round mag and one 25-round mag. Mine actually did not come with a 20-round mag. It came with two 25-round mags. I've got a 32-round mag in here right now. It's an empty mag. This one's loaded, but this mag was empty. I checked it before I started. This is one of the 25-round mags that came with the gun. It came with two of these. And look how short that is on the bottom. So a 20-round mag pretty much would have been flush with the bottom of the gun, from what I understand, which would have been cool, but if for a gun like this, why do you want to have lower capacity? It's a heavy gun as is, so it's not like you're going to conceal carry this thing. If you are ever planning on conceal carrying this thing, I do not recommend putting on a trench coat and trying to conceal carry something like this. This is a home defense weapon. So you don't need 20-round mags. You don't need the 25-round mags that came with it. When you get an Uzi, you want the 32s, obviously. So I'll put the empty mag in. The gun empty as is already like a 5-pound gun. So having additional ammo in there and making it like 6 pounds or so, I mean, whatever, man, it is what it is. It's already not practical for what it is. So I had to get these 32 round mags, which are impossible to find anywhere right now. They were impossible to find when I started searching for them also, but I actually went on the IWI website back a couple of years ago when I bought these mags. And I went on the wait list just to get email updates for when they actually do come in stock. It took a while until I got the email, but when I did, I bought a few of these 32 rounders because I knew I wanted them. They're steel mags, so they're a lot of people like polymer mags, but I like the steel mags. It just feel like they're more likely to last forever, even though that's a whole other issue. Some people have issues with the feed libs, bending them and not knowing if they're good or not, but I like steel mags. And because of that, when they became available, I bought a few of the 32 rounders because that's what you want. So getting back to some of the accessories, I'll put this empty 32 round mag back in here. And the gun is empty too. I already know it's empty, but I'll just show you guys just because I'm gonna be messing with some of the accessories right now. So the gun being 5 pounds, although it is a pistol, it's 5 pounds. It's not practical to hold it with one hand, something like this, or even, it just feels funny to hold it like a Glock, because it's not a Glock. It's not shaped like a Glock. It's not weighted like a Glock. It's balanced. I mean, it's front heavy for obvious reasons. That's where most of the gun is. So you have a tendency to want to hold it with your other hand over here, just to support the front and stop it from pointing down. So you start thinking about, what can I put on this rail right here? Obviously you can't put a vertical foregrip because that would make this a SBR according to the ATF, which is ridiculous. But if you put a vertical foregrip on this pistol would actually become a short barrel rifle without making any other changes, just by putting a vertical grip on here. So you look into some of the options that you could have. The old Uzis from back in the day had a spot over here where you can put your hand because they were a little bit longer. So that's part of the reason why I get the idea of holding it here also, and it just feels more comfortable. So I look at some of the options that are out there, looking up Uzi accessories for the Uzi Pro. I come across a website online called Custom Smith Manufacturing. They make a whole bunch of things. I didn't look through their website too thoroughly, but they make a whole bunch of things. The things that I'm interested in are these, I think they're polymer plastic pieces that are custom made for the Uzi Pro. The first thing I was interested in is the angled foregrip, because the ATF will not allow you to put a vertical foregrip on here on a pistol without making it a short barrel rifle, going through all the paperwork, tax stamps, everything, fingerprinting, just to put a vertical foregrip on a pistol. But they will let you put an angled foregrip on a pistol. So this slides right over the Picatinny rail. This is when you finally have a use for this lower rail. This angled grip does have a screw that can secure it here. I've got the screw over there somewhere on the counter. I'm not gonna put that on right now, it'd be a waste of time. You guys know what it would do. It would hold it in place, obviously. It would go between the slots in the Picatinny rail so it doesn't slide anywhere, and I would tighten the screw. But this just makes it a lot easier to hold this thing. So then I start looking at some of the other accessories that Custom Smith Manufacturing makes. And they also make this barrel shroud for the Uzi Pro, which if you look closely at it, I'm not sure if I'm too far from the camera. I wanted to make sure that you guys could see everything though, so I might have went too far, but I'll try to show you as close detail as I can. This is the angled foregrip right here. This is the barrel shroud, which actually has the angled foregrip built into the bottom of it. So it is an angled foregrip with 2 Picatinny rails around the barrel shroud, just so you can add a laser or a light, any sort of optics, anything, which is cool. So I ordered both these things. You saw the angled foregrip right here. Now before I put the barrel shroud on, I want to point out one of the issues I had as soon as I got this thing. It's comfortable to hold like this, but look how close my thumb is to the muzzle right there. I don't like that. And it gets even worse when you look at the barrel shroud. The barrel shroud goes on there nicely. It also has a screw right here that you have to put when you install it to tighten down so it doesn't slide around. This gives the gun a completely different look, a really cool look, and added features because you can have the two Picatinny rails on the side, which are polymer, but they're great to add accessories, and this is replaceable, obviously. You can get a new barrel shroud if you needed to. It's just really cool. It makes it so comfortable to hold this gun, though, that you want to just get a really good grip with your other hand. Now look at how close the comfortable position is. Look how close my thumb is to the muzzle. That's crazy. So I wouldn't want to shoot it like that. Then I started looking into, after I got these things, what can I get to extend that barrel? Now I'm thinking in my head, this is something else I want to talk about. So I had no option on extending the barrel for a while besides getting what I'm about to show you in a minute, which is called a can. I'll get to that in a minute. It's cool, but not that cool. Not what I wanted. I only wanted this to stick out a little bit more from the barrel shroud or from where it already was, so it's out of my way if I use the angled foregrip. I only wanted it to stick out a little bit more though. Like 1.5 inches or 2 inches would have been perfect. Like a muzzle brake or something. If I could have had something to screw onto a threaded barrel, which was not available when I bought this gun. Now they have the threaded barrel model only. So that's one of the great benefits already that comes to my mind with a threaded barrel. Even if you're not going to use a suppressor, silencer, or anything, you can add something like that, which I just showed you the benefit of it. So I did not have a threaded barrel. I still don't. And it wasn't even an option back then. So what I came across was a website. The company is called Untitled Chapter. And they make these things. They are actually barrel extensions. They're called a can. They're a fake suppressor. They don't serve any purpose to silence the bullets or anything. It doesn't silence the gun at all. It just gives it a different look. And most importantly to me, it gives me that clearance that I would need so I don't shoot my thumb off. So it's just a cool little addition. They make these in 4 inches, 5 inches, or 6 inches. Like I said before, I only wanted to add like 1.5 inches or 2 inches, so I went with the smallest possible one. This is the 4-inch model. It doesn't add a full 4 inches to it because it goes back, replacing the barrel retaining nut right there. I'll go ahead, I'll put that on to show you guys. And I showed you before, the gun is empty, the mag is empty. So let's go ahead and get that thing off. Move these aside. Make sure you guys can see me clearly here. It has a little tab right there that you've got to depress down. And then you can unscrew the barrel retaining nut. Now the part that's threaded right here that I'm unscrewing, this is not a threaded barrel. This is on all the Uzi Pros. They have the base section here threaded so you can screw this barrel retaining nut on. You cannot add a suppressor to this the way that it currently is though. You'd have to change the barrel. Okay. So now once you have that barrel retaining nut off, you go ahead and slide the can, the 4-inch can over there, which does not add any function. It just goes around the diameter of the barrel. It just gives me that clearance that I needed, like I said. So we'll screw this thing on. I'm going very slowly and carefully because I don't want to damage any threading. I want to look carefully here. I'm going to push this tab down. Okay. The can is now installed. So you don't need this barrel retaining nut. You can put this in storage if you're going to use the can. You could put the angled foregrip on here. Gives it a completely different look. Looks kind of weird. It does, but it makes it a bit more functional for the reasons I showed you before. Now with this can, you cannot add the barrel shroud. The barrel shroud is not wide enough. The can will not fit in there. And you don't want to force it or anything. I don't want to force it, and you shouldn't. I'm not going to get it. Well, some people might be interested in how far off is it. Not far off at all. It's very close. So there's guys out there that might want to Dremel it out, the polymer, just so this will slide in there. It does look like there would be enough space to get that done. I don't do stuff like that never to my guns, and I don't do stuff like that to my accessories either. It just is not made for this. So to go in combination with this. So you can put the angled foregrip on, and boom, there you go. That's the look that you've got with the upgrades that I currently have, with the accessories that I currently have for this thing. So if you want to go a little bit further, which I would want to go a little bit further, but I'm not ready yet, you could add optics to the top Picatinny rail. The only thing I really have here available is I've got a red dot right over here, a SIG Romeo 5, which could be good for something like this. I'm not going to tighten it down. I'm just going to rest it on the top, just to show you the look. Kind of center it a little bit, just so the gun is already front heavy. So instead of putting it too far in the front, kind of center it a little bit. But yeah, the thing would look, with optics, that's an assault pistol right there, that's for sure. I mean, imagine you come in here and I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I like it. But like this, I don't see myself holding it. I'm being really careful with it right now because I didn't tighten down the red dot, and I don't want to drop this. This is the cheaper model red dot. This is the Romeo 5 from Sauer, which is like $130 for this one. They've got much more expensive ones, but still, I don't want to drop it. But let me turn it on. Yeah, see, if I'm like this, I mean, it's totally functional like this. But really what I want, if I'm like this, I want an actual laser. So I can hold it down here. And I've got 32 round mags in there too. I want an actual laser. So that's what I'm gonna look for. I can leave these accessories like this and then put a laser on the top rail. Because like I said, you're not gonna conceal carry something like this. This is home defense. So you can have an actual laser. You're going to be indoors when you're using this. If hopefully you never have to use it for home defense reasons. Hopefully it's just at the range. But it could be pretty cool like this. It is pretty cool like this. Just switch out this red dot for an actual laser. And that's what we're dealing with. I'll give you guys another close look so you can see what it looks like. I like it, man. Of course, you would tighten down the accessories. You would tighten down the red dot and tighten down the angled foregrip before using it. But thanks for watching, guys. I wanted to show you guys my Uzi Pro accessories just in case you're in the market looking for something like that. Or if you have one, you know some of the options that are out there. Thank you for watching my video. I'll see you guys soon.